Original and this is how Japanese historians suppressed World War II history, featuring the Fat Russian. Unsubscribed podcast. Somebody told me I should watch this one. I didn't know Fat Russian has like podcast like this. No, wait a minute. I did know. I'm pretty sure like one or two thumbnail has popped up in a recommended feed. I think he's with AK guy, right? Brandon Herrera. There you go. I don't know. I'm forgetting the name. He's with Brandon Herrera and other people as well in this podcast. I'm pretty sure. But yeah. So obviously he's going to talk about Japanese history here. That is like a real thing, right? Suppressing history. Even YouTube does that in a way. YouTube hides behind like, okay, we need to make this friendly or whatever. Like advertisers, blame on Coca-Cola. That's what it is. Like advertisers has to we have to worry about that. I reacted to recent Fat Russian video. And I posted the second part. And second part was like restricted in monetization. I'm like, okay. So, like I said, I told them like, okay, there is only like movie footage and that's about it. There's nothing else. There's no profanity at early video or whatever. And there's still like, manual review came back like first 7 seconds, there's like curse word. No, there isn't. Right? Like first 10-15 seconds is like, I literally say the title of the video. So there's no profanity. And then it's like, there's violence. What violence? Movie scenes? There was like Saving Private Ryan or some movie scenes. Fat Russian like sometimes shows a clip from a movie and like some photo, but that's about it. It's usually him just talking in front of mic. So that felt odd to me. Like even manual reviewer didn't see that one, but there you go. So suppressing history is a real thing, right? People hide behind things like, oh, we need to make this sanitary. We need to make sure that people are not offended. Like that's not how history works. History literally means logged events of the past, right? It is what it is, but there you go. So I'm pretty sure in Germany, like there's oversimplified video of Hitler, I think, right? Yeah, it's blocked, right? You can't see it type of way. So okay, so it's gonna be interesting how many things Japanese historians suppressed. You can't suppress that much, right? Like it ended with certain bang that's like visible. So how much things you're going to suppress from that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Let's watch it. Remember, flag my don't forget to subscribe. So that way I know we start videos to react to more. I like history videos. That's how I started this channel. I like military stories. Fat Russian basically, something like that. And yeah, basically I like most of things from science and everything. I've watched many different type of videos. So if you see other reactions I did, check out the link in the description. Comment down if you want to do any video. Always check comments. And yeah, let's watch it. Whoa, okay.
Funny thing about nuke in Japan is like Hiroshima was like a Christian city.
Was it?
Yeah.
At that time?
Well, it was either Hiroshima or Nagasaki, which one, but it had like a large Christian population. And so
Whoa, what? Wasn't it like China, like their shoguns and like I don't know. Was Japan Christian? I didn't know that. I always assume it was like China, like okay, there's like shogun and emperor and their own mythologies and things.
America was just like, you know what? They're already going to heaven. Let's just make it, we'll save them. We're actually doing them a favor. Instead of like going for other Japanese people that might not see, America as like hey, okay, we get along. There's a similar religion there. No, they're like, those are kind of our guys, but, well, they're going to see Jesus. And so that's what they want.
Go towards the light.
You know what's fucking crazy? Like, so if I went down to the Fort Sill Training Support Facility and they got a flag from the guys who had been taken prisoner on Bataan during the Bataan Death March. They built this flag after like they were getting liberated. They like sewed it all together and shit and like stood at attention for the flag. It's the first time they've done it in like 4 years, right? But just think of the mentality. So they fought for like 6 months cut off on the Bataan Peninsula, fought like crazy. Like I challenge anyone to find any nation that has ever fought that hard to like the bitter end. And they only gave up because they were ordered to and they ran out of ammunition. So then they do the Bataan Death March, which is awful. If you guys have never read the book, what is it, Unbreakable? Don't watch the movie. The movie's, but the book is fucking atrocious what the Japanese did to those guys. So that was 1941, right? 1941 that happened. They go to all sorts of different POW camps. And one of the POW camps they go to is right outside of this little known place called Hiroshima, right? Small place, not important, right? And so you're there for 4 years, like you're getting, just beat to shit. You're losing people. You're being starved, like malnutrition, malaria, all this shit. And then one day you look up and you see a fucking atomic bomb go off at the city right next door. And you're like, what did I miss in 4 fucking years? Like that'd be such a mind fuck that you'd like, we were fighting with these old out.
Oh, I did not see that coming. The whole story was going there. I mean, I felt that. Like you're like detached like that and suddenly see a mushroom cloud. How do you process that? How the fuck do you process that? Damn, man. This is the movie Oppenheimer tried to do like dramatic thing, but I still think that nothing can capture the level of like first time experiencing some horrifying power like that. Atomic bomb is like so big, so larger than like even group of humans, city killer, that it just like terrifies your soul if you like kind of like witness it. Like even testing a mushroom cloud, like oh my god, what the fuck, right? It's like next level shit. So just them seeing that mushroom cloud in Hiroshima, imagine what was going through their head. That's insane. And the first thing about imagine like okay, the obviously Christians, right? So Japanese was like honor and like there is no honor like if you surrender, so kamikaze and everything. So imagine Americans like honor. You want honor, right? You don't care if you die, but you want honor, kamikaze. You know what? I'll oblige to that. Press the button. There you go.
Dated World War I shit, and now 4 years later, the sun just showed up over a fucking Japanese city.
I can tell you exactly what I would do. I would be there as a POW, and I'd see it explode, and then my Japanese prison guard would be right there, and I would go. Just a little. You're in trouble.
Holy fuck.
Something tells me that wasn't an ammunition dump, fella.
Holy shit.
It's funny.
I'm just looking over, and the prisoner was like,
It's funny because like 2 days after that, the Japanese guards literally abandoned the POW camp. They just left. They're like, fuck this.
I gotta go.
Just, I'm out.
You know,
Bye.
it'd be like really.
I know that's a joke, but I've seen factories and videos like how horrible that thing was, right? Where they starve people, pregnant women, they didn't care, like if they were starving, that asshole basically, right? In that, I'm pretty sure like what was the past 2-3 videos, there was a video about that, right? So Japanese did unthinkable thing in POW, not just to like, soldiers that they think they're less than human because they surrendered, even to civilians. So all that was bullshit. Like it's just soldiers. Like if you surrender, no, that's all bullshit, right? There are people who's gonna do unspeakable thing to everyone, right? So yeah, after seeing that, imagine like horror in their mind. Like okay, now our time is coming, and after all the shit we did in POW, yeah, we're not gonna survive. So of course they're gonna run away, abandon POW instantly. That's just wholly insane.
Kind of fucked up is like America took the Japanese sword makers from that area and then made them make the blades to that Hellfire missile so they could put it in. It's like it's full story. There's just guys that are like, ching, and they're still doing it old way, folding steel. Like, this is amazing. I'm made from a steel. And CIA agent just goes, here, thank you very much. Zoom. Oh, look at the fucking.
this will be passed down a generation after generation.
Do the entire ceremony.
General MacArthur, I give you the sword.
I know.
And General MacArthur's like, I know what to do with this shit.
I
need 4 more.
I know what I want your reaction to.
What's that?
It's like a trending thing on the internet right now with all the fucking.
Do you want to not just tell me and just do it right now? Do you want to just show it to me?
No, I can't show you. It's too much. I just have to. It's like hundreds of tweets. It's a whole thing. It's a bit like a big talking point with like the super ultra communist fucking sympathizers that Japan did not surrender because of the nuclear bomb. They surrendered because the USSR attacked Manchuria around the same time.
Where's Manchuria located? To Japan. I'm not sure where Manchuria is.
It's like
I've heard of their candidate.
Manchuria, I'm pretty sure it's like bordering Russia, right? It's like in modern China, it's like northeastern part. I think that was Manchuria, right? So kind of north of the Japan. Basically, Japan and Russians, like there is an island between them. There's like disputed. Russia say like these are our island. Basically around that area, right? I'm pretty sure it is that. But that's some next level shit. It's not a nuclear weapon. USSR attacked Manchuria and we know what. Like, come on, man. People just want to say shit, right? This is the day of like just say, who's that guy, the actor who says 1 by 1 equals 2. Like, are you fucking? Is this what we're doing now? Come on.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Never.
Anyways,
Isn't it northern Japan, like near fucking
I
Korea
don't think
or
it's
some
Manchuria. I
shit?
think it's
I
China.
gave my woman my phone, so I can't check.
it's China.
West Japan.
So the USSR attacked not Japan, and Japan said,
Well, Japan was occupying it
Yeah.
at the time.
Do you hear they finally have some pictures? I haven't seen, I've seen like one or two, and I don't know how true they are. Nanking.
That's what I heard.
"Oh, wasn't that? Yeah, they like the Japanese were like cutting people up. We talked about this, right?
Oh yeah, like millions.
Oh yeah, that was
millions
that
and
was on
millions.
the
GV.
One Nanking. Oh, that's. I remember like 3-4 years ago, I did a history video where I realized that. And like there was like a thing that clicked in my head, like what the fuck? I didn't know about Japanese did this level of shit. It's way too worse. It's so worse you can't even make a video, movie about it, right? Too much would be R-rated, and some of them won't even make at certain countries. Truly horrible shit.
And you're gonna have to mute this, but the of Nanking is what it's referred to.
yeah. I mean that entire thing. If you read the story on that, or
Don't get me,
the,
don't get me
Unit
fucking started.
8,
I'm gonna go on a communist rant if we do this.
Okay, look, if you like take a time machine and go back to that area, that time, and if you see what's happening, 70-80% of you, at least I'm thinking that basically would give up on life, just seeing like how is this possible. That's how it's described what happened there, right? Depending on like how fast your like psychological defenses flare up, your mind basically creates a wall if it reaches certain point. Like, I don't want to think about anything, and just like la just walk away. Depending on the person you are, where you like really think about things and really become emotional compared to like how fast you put up the walls, you would give up on life. You'd be properly depressed after that one. That's how horrible it was.
Was China communist at that point, or were they still?
They were in the middle of a civil war, so
were
they were
right in
kind
the
of like
middle
our
of it.
friend, not our friend. They were having a
Enemy
bit
of our enemy was
Yeah.
our friend. Yeah, type of deal. Yeah, it's really upsetting.
Japan came in and fucking
Yeah.
fucked
I mean,
shit up.
Japanese were like awful to anyone, even POWs. Like, if you read that book, I'll give you an example. That book, the fucking Unbreakable, they were allowed like hardly any water and one golf ball size thing of rice. That's what the POWs were allowed, Japanese prisoners. And if you were caught stealing anything, you were either beaten to death or like killed in many other creative ways. So like a guy was caught stealing water because he was fucking, dying of thirst. And what they did is they shoved a garden hose down his throat, filled up his stomach, and jumped on it like a water balloon. Killed him. Yeah. Like the awful shit that the Japanese did is
stuff
fucking
for you.
wild,
Oh, yeah.
man.
It's
And
crazy.
I like-
Oh, what the fuck, man? They did that? Oh, that's too much. That's just too much. Come on, man. And why is Fatuson just sitting there now saying like, okay, I've covered this. I've made video about this, right? Intense video.
in Japan, they don't teach it either. They're like,
No.
we never did any of that.
It's America's fault though. It's not theirs. They're just going with it.
Yeah, of course.
After World War II, there's literally an entire generation of historians right after World War II. They're literally called the revisionists, and their entire fucking life goal was to make America the bad guy in World War II, and that they didn't succeed because everybody still kind of universally agrees like Allied good guys, right?
Axis bad guys.
Right. So like they didn't succeed at that, but what it did do was it played it off like Japan was a victim that didn't deserve nuclear bombing or whatever. And then that because of that, that's why nobody knows about how fucking horrific all the shit the Japanese were doing is. That's why that's not taught. That's why it's way lesser known. And then
I mean, look, man. I mean, I kind of understand from their perspective, like how you gonna tell your population that you were kamikazing the shit out of it. Your whole ideology was so fucking horrible, and like so old thinking with the honor and all that shit. Like if somebody surrenders, they're less than human. Doing all the horrific shit you're doing in the camp. How you gonna tell your population, which is that Japanese are depressed, right? Japan is one of the most depressed country in the world. Now you're gonna tell them all this. Like there's gonna be some next level shit. So I'm guessing there are like power behind that trying to do that. Like we can't tell our people all this shit. But I'm always like it doesn't matter what it is. You have to tell the truth. I'm in that camp. Like history is history. It doesn't matter what. If people are depressed, then fuck it. They're depressed. Like it's history. Eventually, people will realize that.
What that translated to is that's why every war after World War II, everybody thinks that America fucking lost or America was doing the wrong thing. It's literally because of that. It's an entire generation of historians whose entire ethos was America bad, and that was their whole fucking plan.
So that's the way I explain like Afghanistan to people, because I don't know about Iraq, but like in Afghanistan, what we do is every year during the fighting seasons, because you guys all know they have fighting seasons in Afghanistan, they show up in the spring with a bunch of fucking retards. They have fucking recruited from Pakistan or Uzbekistan. Pick a fucking stand. They all go to the different stands over there, right? So they come across the border. They get their shit pushed in by Uncle Sam. Every single time they get into a fight, they run away like bitches because we just fucked them up, right? They run back to Pakistan. They fucking throw some more money at the next generation of fucking idiots. They come back the next year. We kill all the dumb ones. And we did this for 20 fucking years. So like people are like, you lost in Afghanistan. It's like, okay, Afghanistan is a house. We're going to treat it like that. I go to your house and I beat your ass, but you start hiding. And every day I'm in your house just looking around for you. And every time I find you, I fuck you up. And I do it for 20 years. And then finally I'm like, this is boring. I'm done with this.
Tired.
And I leave.
I'm gonna go home now.
And I won because you didn't finish the job. Like, what? I can turn you to glass if I really felt like it. Like, I could foundation your house in 10 minutes.
You just
Yeah, I mean, the Afghanistan thing is like some next level shit. Everybody's like, oh, America, just like every other empire, lost it. Like, what is losing? What do you want? You want them to just stay there and like create a genocide or something? Is that what you want? Right? Do you want them to nuke the shit out of Afghanistan? They went there. They control every place they wanted to control. People hid and still did the guerrilla warfare level of shit. Even then, they stay there like 20 years or something. What do you want? Right? Eventually, they're like, oh, fuck this shit. They have to go away. Right? Because USA is a much better place to live than Afghanistan. Why would they keep their soldiers there? So, of course, they're going to live, go back to their country eventually. But it's like, oh, you lost because, come on, man. It's like, so if you beat the shit out of somebody just like bags, like, okay, stop. Then you stop, say, what a bitch. You couldn't finish the job. Like, really? Come on. That's just insane.
Just made the United States a burglar.
I mean,
Where are you?
The point stands.
Oh my God, he's back. Your story is America illegally kicks in the door of their neighbor's house and then beats the out of their neighbor. And the neighbor's like, oh, I'm going to hide from you. And you're like, yeah, you fucking better. George,
I don't think he made the America burglar. It's like John Wick level of shit, right? Somebody badmouthed you, you went to their house and kicked the shit out of them, that kind of thing, and they hid.
every 2 days. That's a horrible analogy.
Hey, we'll start it different. The neighbor came out and threw a rock and broke our window, and now we show it. There we go.
That's the meme.
I feel more like the United States John Wicked Afghanistan. Like the Taliban did 9/11, which is basically killing our dog, and we were like, no, not the puppy. And then we went over to their house and we just, did all the Russian stuff where we're like, I think I'm back. You know?
But it's crazy when you look at the numbers. So was it a little under 3,000? I think it's 6 less than 3,000 people died in 9/11. I think it's like 2,994 died in 9/11. But in Afghanistan, 20 years of fighting, 2,400 soldiers died. It's like you killed more people on 9/11 than you did in 20 years of fighting us. And you want to tell everybody you fucking won. Okay, we wish you the best in your future fucking endeavors.
The other annoying part is like you can't even like win a war because there's no fucking official government there to even sign a peace treaty with. At least not one that actually has control of their shit. So it's like you're not even fighting a
Imagine if America, though, if America...
That is the problem with wars, though, right? Like, if you invade a country, now you have to worry about their country, worry about their debt, worry about, like, sustaining that country. It's, like, really heavy in your economy. Even just, like, being there 20 years in Afghanistan, like, took a real big hit on U.S. economy. Even though it's, like, number one, like, 18 trillion, whatever GDP. Even then, like, Afghanistan was, like, bleeding it, right, America? So, yeah, it's just fucked up. Like, how you gonna, like... And if you're not like I said in the past, America's democracy, it's always going to be hard, right? You're gonna have to think about all the ethical way of doing things. Otherwise, like CNN or Fox News or whatever just will spin the story in like your homeland and people will be pissed off. So unless you're like authoritarian figure, taking over a country and dominating a place is like really hard. So USA stayed there in Afghanistan with whatever reasoning they had. They tried to do everything they can, but they had to leave one day, right? I'm pretty sure it was like since 2015 or something. People were like, okay, just leave Afghanistan. And finally they did like, what, recently, 2020 or something, right?
just did it where they won the war like fucking 7 days later. We're like, oh, we're winning. And then we just pulled out instantly.
Can I say-
that'd be way more gangster? It's like, boom, killed. Okay, bye.
Unfortunately,
What do you think
creates a
Desert
vacuum.
Storm was?
We created a vacuum. No
You
matter
said it. I think you said it in your video with Storm and Norman Schwarzkopf, and I have known it for forever. And I loved your talking point because it's absolutely true. Storm and Norman Schwarzkopf was like, we're gonna push past everybody and just take over Iraq as fast as we can because the politicians are gonna fuck this up. And then we fucking laid waste to Iraq in like what, 14 days?
The air raid was 30 days, but
The ground war.
I think it was 100 hours was the ground fucking war. It was like super short.
the ground war
super
was
short.
like days, a
Yeah.
couple days before they had all of the Iraq forces pinned and like separated completely.
Was it you that made a video about how we smoked all their tanks because they bunkered up their tanks?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they fucked up. The tanks, especially in the 90s, because that's when like Abrams
That was that bunker busting bomb video, right? Yeah, I think that was that one.
brand new, the T-78s, T-72s that they were using, outdated, antiquated, and then they didn't have GPS.
That was
which is your
73
video.
Easting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
73 Easting was a fucking turkey shoot.
They didn't know shit.
How many? We only lost. Did we even lose a single Abram? It was like one
Yeah, one got
Abram.
stuck in the mud because some private didn't know how to
America,
fucking.
an Abram has never been lost in combat. Like Abrams have been lost to IEDs, but that's it.
And then we used that how many tanks? They lost like 1,000
Yes,
tanks.
all of them.
All of the.
Okay, someone in the comments told me, I don't know which video was that. Was it a tank video or something like that very recently I made? The America's lost way too many Abrams everywhere. It's just like, numbers much high, so it's not really good, invincible, some shit like that. I'm pretty sure there was a comment on my channel. And now, with the context, of course, like IEDs, I mean, come on, man. It's not in combat. If you just throw a fucking mine and run away and like, oh, look at that, we just destroyed Abrams. Like, does that even, like, come on.
I think it was like one battalion
it
pushed
wasn't
through
even-
73
It
Easting.
wasn't even Abrams going. Like we had Bradleys out there fucking shit up.
That tow missile fucks, man. That tow fucks.
But I mean, we still had like there's stories and like full animated reenactments where they interview the guys. It's like two Bradleys come up over a ridge and there's like 30 fucking T-72s and they're like, we got 4 tow missiles. Let's fucking go. They fucking take out like 5 fucking tanks somehow and then dip. It's fucking awesome.
It's nuts, man. Like I've seen some of those interviews from 73 Easting. Those guys in those Abrams. I think the only armored vehicle we lost in 73 Easting was to friendly fire, if I'm not mistaken.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they weren't doing it, so we kicked our own ass. Okay,
What dude was just like, yeah, that's definitely not one of ours. That thing that looks
by the color.
That thing that looks nothing like the enemy tanks.
Yeah, because he probably had like some kind of bet. How much ammunition does it take to take out an Abrams? And just like months went by. Not a single fucking person is taking down Abrams. You know what? Let's just say it was friendly fire and see how fast Abram goes down or something. There you go. That was a bet right there.
That we've been
Like the
studying.
one I'm in.
Yeah. Did they get one of ours? We should definitely shoot at it just in case.
Rich, you've met privates.
There's a funny saying, and I enjoy saying it. What's the difference between a trash can and a tank? There's only one dirt bag in a trash can.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite tanker slangs. But honestly,
I used to be a tanker. You know that, right? You
Yeah, I
little
can tell.
engineer fuck. Oh, fuck you.
Crunchies.
Yeah, he doesn't care. There you go. Okay, podcast feels like it's going all over the place, but okay, I guess that's the point of podcast. People sitting and just talking. It doesn't have to be a trend. But there you go. Yeah, Japanese historian thing, like that's insane, man. People like really trying to, like feelings are changing history. Like that's not how it works. Context does matter, right? The problem our society has that we always see things left, right, or black and white, basically like that. Grayness requires context and details, and you can't tell a story with black and white and like really spin it, right? And that's the problem, right? People will make arguments. They will have words, right? Just because you have words and you can like fucking write an essay doesn't mean you're right, right? So people are just like, oh, by the way, this didn't happen, that didn't happen, America was a bad guy, we didn't deserve to be nuked and all that. Like, you can't do all that. You can try to like, this is not a new concept. It's been happening since like Greece or something, like thousands of years ago, right? But nowadays it's like exploded because of the internet, right? You can't really like, control who receives what kind of information. You shouldn't, right? that's like, controlling freedom. But you need to create some kind of awareness, like how to consume information and from what sources. That's the main point here. So people like it's just exploding, like, oh, like I said, who's that, like Howard or something? I forgot his name. One by one is like two, not one, right? There are two, a number added to another cannot be two. First of all, in some there is not, it's not adding it, right? That's not how that works, right? Multiplications are different, right? So if you add a number to another number, it can't be one, it has to be two. You didn't add anything, it's not adding. It's when I heard about it, I'm pretty sure like Neil deGrasse Tyson like made a video about it, explanation. I'm like, what the fuck, people like that exist, and there is a following of them. Like, come on. So internet just like that, people are gonna deny everything. I'm sure there will be one day in Germany people will start to like deny about Hitler and everything when things get old enough, right? It's like, what is it, like 80 years now? Slowly it will be like 100 years, 150 years. It will get old enough where people can talk about it that way, and there will be people who will apologize for that. That is insane when you think about it, right? But yeah. Right, well, that was how Japanese historians suppressed World War II history, featured in the Federation Unsubscribed podcast. If you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.